It didn't go live.
I know. There we go.
Space, the boundary of human achievement, the new frontier.
It's just a cough.
Yeah, right. And the Earth is flat.
Treat your cough seriously with Robitussin CF Max. Nothing lasts longer and treats more symptoms for your cough, cold, and flu. Robitussin, because it's never just a cough.
In a few moments, you will have an experience which will seem completely real. It will be the result of your subconscious fears transformed to your conscious awareness. Warning, this tape must not be played by government personnel. It can be extremely harmful and result in severe trauma. You have 5 seconds to terminate this tape. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hold him. Now you listen to me, you hillbilly punk who thinks the world's still round. I'm here to tell you it's not. It's flat.
Lexi, tell us something interesting.
Okay, the Earth is flat, and a witch stole his pants.
Flat Earth expert Mark Sargent thinks the moon landing was a hoax.
Technically, the moon itself is a hoax.
Right, but betting with Sportsbet's new iPhone app?
I could do this standing on my head.
Thanks, Gravity. Sportsbet's new iPhone app. It's
Hold on.
foolproof.
I know how we're different. Do you believe the Earth is flat?
I know it's flat. I walk on it.
Holy
Do you think the Earth is flat, Snoop? What do you
It's a flat world after all.
Smoke weed every day.
It's definitely the triple digits, but I don't know exactly. It's a ridiculous number.
It's Paige.
Broadcasting straight to you from a large spaceship currently at war with mainstream science. Meanwhile, the peanut gallery is waiting. Iran will strike Israel this week. He never knew a week meant 40 years. It's never going to happen. Welcome to Strange World, where the truth is often stranger than fiction. I'm your host, Mark Sargent, the creator of Flat Earth Clues, which propose that all of us are living inside a Truman Show enclosed structure, thousands of miles wide. Just Google Flat Earth Mark. If you can't find it, well, you're just not very good at the internet. Currently, the show is on Tuesday nights at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern, and yes, Carolina, if it is not August 13th, 2024, the year of the Wood Dragon, then you are listening to a rerun. Don't forget, the show can be found on BitChute and Brighteon, Rockfin, and Rumble. YouTube is not the end of Flat Earth. It is just the beginning. Quote of the day goes exactly like these two things. Consider this. The American empire, where I grew up, the one I know and love, is young compared to the other empires that have risen and fallen. The eastern coast of our country is less than 250 years old. We've only been a superpower for the last 80. Hell, we didn't even get our 50th star on the flag until 1960. That's for Gen Z, by the way, in case you were wondering. It was Hawaii. The United States has only had 58 elections. In contrast, we've had 57 Super Bowls. And you say, Mark, those are every year, but that's my point. The first Super Bowl was in 1967, and some of you have been around for all of them. Ponder that. Who said that? Me. I said all that stuff. Just came out with this afternoon. The other one, it's kind of making my blood pressure go up just watching it. You should never say the R word. Sometimes. But if you're talking to a regular grown man who just made a documentary about the world being flat, he doesn't have extra chromosomes. He's an effing retarded guy. Who said that? Joe Rogan, 59 minutes in from his special Burn the Boats on Netflix right now. It's like barely even a week old. Anyway. Patricia Steer is on vacation this week, so my special guest host for the evening is the always delightful DJ Curious, sitting pretty in LA. Hey, DJ.
Hey, Mark. Happy to be here. How's it going, Strange World?
It's going wonderfully, man. And it's always, I look forward to talking to you. And tonight we're going to learn a bit more about you in this episode, because people are asking, who the hell is this DJ guy? And why do I care? Well, we're going to find out.
No,
we're going to talk about some other
tonight, guys. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Hey, DJ, you know, sometimes it's hard to find Flat Earth friends, but there is an easy way to find cool people like yourself and solid info about our stationary, horizontal level plane. The solution is simple. It's the Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app. Watch the featured video every day for 2 weeks and see what happens. It'll be the best $2.99 you've ever spent. And I bet you have it right now.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Nice. A political answer in a political year. I'm enjoying that.
Year. No, I'm doing you from the Bolton commercial.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, so good.
If I told you, I'd have to give you my referral code, and I don't know it off the top of my head. Sorry, Dave.
And because it's 10 p.m. on the East Coast, it's time to say goodnight to one of our listeners, Paige. So sleepy. She's just put on her Tom Slick pajamas, got a cup of cocoa with exactly 6 tiny marshmallows, and will probably listen to the playback in the morning. Good night, Paige.
Good night, Paige.
I wonder if David says goodnight to her every night. We should find out. Shout-outs to Flat Earther Stephen Carpenter of the Deftones. Support the Flat Earth cause and get the coolest hoodies ever. Go to the strong.family, won't you? Pick up some merch. Shout-out to Zulu1, long-time listener of the show, for doing a simulcast stream on his channel. The channel being Zulu1, all caps, Z-U-L-U-O-N-E. Got some letters in the mail. And somebody says my sound is still 1 second off. Come on! All right, I will adjust that as soon as I can. I swear to God. I'll bump it back the other way. Okay, so before I do that, because I'm not going to interrupt my flow, got some things in the mail. First thing is from William Swords. He sent some more Flat Earth coasters. So yeah, some Flat Earth coasters. Look at that. That's kind of fun. Hand done with nice. Thank you, DJ. With that's done in needlepoint, and he also sent a package for Patricia. And she's got some Flat Earth coasters in here. I will show those off as soon as I open it. I've got a handmade postcard from Daryl, I believe. And it's called Dog Speed. Anyway, handmade postcard. That's kind of fun. Get those every once in a while. Cute. Nice. And another postcard, which was weird because, well, it was a postcard sent in an envelope from Ben. I'm not going to give out his last name, but it says, "Hi, Mark, you are a great activist with friendship, Ben." That's this nice little post here. That's kind of fun. All right. I will wait until I get DJ to start talking before I tweak my audio. Is DJ... Well, hey, DJ, go ahead and give me the alphabet really quick. Do it.
A, B, C, D, E, F, A, G, A, K, L, M, N, O, P.
All right. Hold up some fingers. Do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ready? Go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay. Chat room, tell me if DJ's okay. And then I'll adjust mine afterwards. All right. Meetups. While we're waiting for that, we're going to do the meetups. First one. Oh, I'm sorry. Last minute shout out. This is from Janine in Canada. Her husband and her 25th anniversary just happened. And it just happened so I can give out the surprise. They did a surprise Elvis tribute for us at our friend's care home, all decked out. Nice. Very, very cool. So Janine, happy 25th anniversary to you. Meetups. Let's start with the Oklahoma one. Peanut will not be at that one as far as I know. The next meetup will occur on Saturday, 8/24 from 6 to 9 at Red Rock Canyon Grill, 1820 Legacy Park Drive, Norman, Oklahoma, 73069. That is about 25 minutes from downtown Oklahoma City. You can RSVP him by 781-857-9175 or email him at 300kmileprius@gmail.com. Also, let's do... We may have to do audio checks before every one of these. Let's do the Southern... Okay, I'm just going to rattle off the email promos that are on my channel. Okay, I'll just tweak it as soon as I'm done. I'll take his down from 100 to 0, and I'll take mine from 900 down to 0. Let's see if that makes a difference. Southern New York, August 17th. Check that one out. That promo's on my channel. The Meetup Campout, Minnesota, August 24th. The West UK Meetup, August 27th. Nathan Oakley will be there in person. So if you're looking to get smacked around, I hope you're ready. I hope people that go are going to bring some good questions, because that man has been debating people for years, and he is merciless. Absolutely. I mean, look, I'm fairly kind. I'm about the softest debate you're ever going to get. Austin Whitsitt and David Weiss, they're up there a ways. Jaron's up there. Karen's up there. But Nathan Oakley, oh yeah, he tortures people for fun. Let's see, Flat Earth Meetup, Atlantic City, New Jersey, September 13th. Flattoberfest, Spartanburg, South Carolina, September 27th through the 29th, flatearthfestivals.com. And a meetup October 12th in Kansas. So, there you go. DJ says he loves it. Okay. So, let's talk about, because we're not going to do headlines till the next segment. Let's talk about we're going to talk about flat earth stuff, DJ, notably you, because you and I have been bouncing stuff around back and forth, and you're absolutely right. It is a flat earth show. We should be talking more about flat earth. We should be talking about flat earth journeys. And since you're the new kid on the block, see what I did there? Kind of a tie-in from a couple weeks ago. And you look like one of the new kids on the block, to be honest.
Stop.
No, the cute one.
Well,
right?
I'm just Dusty or DJ, and I'm excited to be here to talk about whatever you want to know. So,
all right. So, while you're doing that, I'm going to be tweaking your audio. Tell me how you got into this. Before you met me, let's go all the way back to the beginning. When did you first look into flat Earth?
Ooh, actually, the very first person that told me about it was a Navy SEAL. So I thought that was interesting because I just, obviously we value their opinion, and it was someone that's very close to me. So I said, okay, show me what you got. And he actually sent me Hibbler's video, The Truth Does Not Fear Investigation. And I was like, okay, let me see what this is all about. Have you seen that one?
I have. I've seen all of Hibbler's stuff. And by the way, Hibbler has always been suspicious of me because he was an Eric Dubé guy. And yeah. Yeah. But yes, I have watched it. I love Hibbler's stuff. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, Hibbler does great. So in that one, there was a few things that kind of stood out to me. I'm like, okay, this flat Earth theory, which I was also just curious about, hence DJ Curious. And just so the audience knows out there, I'll look into anything. Nothing is beneath me. And I was really on a journey for truth. I was looking for hope in this world as things just kind of seem more hopeless, especially during the past 4 years. And everything was coming together. It was this interesting time in my life where I was seeking spirituality. And when I say that, I was looking for evidence of God. And I was praying as profusely as I could to just to get on that path for truth. I have the love of truth in me, and I think that's what this community is all about. And it's really, it's amazing.
Awesome. That's great. And when did you finally decide to go to your first meetup? What made you brave the waters?
Well, I've been watching Strange World. You know how this all came about, really, but there's so many things to talk about, and I know we only have so much time. But I did see Behind the Curve about 5-6 years ago, and you and Patricia seemed like fun, easygoing, genuine, kind people, and I'm like, okay, they're likable. So these people, flat earthers, are likable. Okay, I don't have anything against them. I just thought they must be confused, or what's their hill they're dying on. So it takes a while to learn what the flat earth theory is. And as I continued to kind of investigate, it was still not all clicking. There's so many moving parts that it really wasn't sinking in that space might not be real, or that's the theory that space doesn't exist. And I'm like, wow, that's a big one to let go, guys. I'll have to really take my time with that. And still to this day, I'm open to whatever it is. And I just want the audience to know, where I stand, I don't care if it's flat or not. What I care about is the truth and if we're being lied to or not. So that's where you come in, Mark. I wanted to see if you were still at it. So I looked up your account and I found Strange World, and I just started listening and became a fan, really, of just the whole mindset, the mindset that you bring to Strange World, your thought processes, your perspective and viewpoints. And I'm like, okay, I'm starting to agree. So you had posted a meetup, and boy, when I tell you I was nervous to go to a meetup, it's one of those things where you sit in your car and you're like, am I really doing this? Because it is social suicide. And to be on Strange World now showing my face to this is just shocking to me, because I am a very private person and I don't want to look like a fool, but I'm not afraid to look foolish anymore. So here I am.
Awesome. That's great. And so, yeah, the first one that you went to, and I remember you were one of the, again, it's a very, as you know, the Huntington Beach, LA meetups from Flat Earth Los Angeles and Renee and all those guys is usually a fairly friendly bunch, but you were by far and away one of the nicest people at the party. It was cool, and there was a lot of people coming in and out. It's a great house on the beach, and it was a kind of an open door policy where we still vetted people, kind of like a secret club, like a password. It's like, so. Yeah. What do you like about the flat earth? Try to use the lingo, because if you're a globalist, you can't fake it, which is so strange to me that they can't fake.
Yeah, it's true.
Did you know anybody coming? You were with somebody, weren't you?
Yeah, so actually my very, very, very first meetup was in San Diego, and it was small, about 14 people, and everyone there was kind of like sizing each other up. But then as soon as because nobody wanted to admit what we were getting together for in this restaurant. But it was so harmless, and the people were lovely, and we met people from all over San Diego, and it was like, wow, these are regular people. One person was a scientist, and so I was like, okay, and heard her journey, and it was just interesting to hear how everyone comes to this information and where they're at in the journey. And really, it's a continuous investigation, and just knowing both sides and walking the line of, okay, this is what this side has to say. We understand the globe model. We know what to look for, but also kind of hearing the alternative viewpoint, which that's what flat earth theory is and why it's important, just knowing what to look for. If you can't speak the flat earth lingo, then you don't know the theory well enough to kind of know what to look out for. Because everyone just thinks it's so easy, it's so debunked that the earth, of course, is in space. We just take everything at face value. So when I got to the meetup where I met you, obviously that was a huge draw, and it was a great crowd, and the people were so kind, and everyone's welcoming, and you were the real deal. I was like, wow, this guy's exactly how he is on Strange World, and so kind, patient, and we were able to have banter right off the bat, because, I feel like your sense of humor resonates with a lot of people, especially me.
And thank you for saying that. I mentioned to you before, I am a comedy snob, and we'll get to Joe Rogan eventually, because I do want to talk about it. But yes, I'm a big fan of, some people say, oh, you don't take flat earth serious enough. And it's like, well, if you can't laugh about certain things, you're not really looking at it. If you can't finding humor in something means you've already gotten to the point where it's already hit you with the 5 stages of acceptance, and now you're finding the edges of it, the silver linings, which are the quirky silver linings of any topic. Kind of like when people were saying, oh, you didn't take the pandemic serious enough. And I would come up with all sorts of fun stuff. And it's like, oh, because the airports didn't close. And then I'd go, off on one of those tangents. The Huntington Beach thing, I absolutely loved meeting you. And I remember you did one of the nicest things ever, and you know what I'm talking about, where I get one of the girls that came there. I can't remember the blonde girl's name with the glasses, but she was cold, and she was like, oh, hey, can I borrow your jacket? Because I was wearing a sports coat. And I said, yeah, sure, why not? Because I don't get cold that often. And honestly, California, Los Angeles, I don't think I'd ever get cold. And I gave it to her, and I remember Dan, the waterman, came up to me. It's like, are you kidding? She smokes. You gave her your jacket? I go, yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be totally cool. And I didn't see her, because there was a lot of people there just coming in and out, and I lost her. She was gone somewhere. And at one point, I was pretty convinced that she had left the party with my jacket. I was like, all right, I got other jackets. But you were so kind. Again, I'd only known you for not even a day. And you came up to me later, and you gave me your jacket, and you said, here, take my jacket.
Here, take this.
Yeah.
Take this.
I was like, what? Well, that was so kind.
The backstory on it. I mean, honestly, you had been standing out there all day long. You talked to every single person at the meetup. You were so patient. And then you did say, oh, but it's getting cold. You were cold. And I gave my jacket away. And so I'm actually leaving. And I talked to a friend I had made there, and was like, should I just run back in and throw my jacket on him? And she was like, do it. So I was like, all right. So I ran back in, and I saw you there, and I just put it over your shoulders. Like, here you go, Mark, take this. And, I didn't leave. I didn't know it would leave such an impression that it was like Dobby getting clothes. You were free. Like, hey, now I'm on Strange World. That went a long way, that jacket.
No, it was great. And I again, there are gestures like that give me faith in humanity. Most of the time, I look at the general population and go, you guys are so doomed. You guys are terrible, horrible people. I watch the news way too much. I know a lot of you guys, and some of you don't even own televisions. I have to, because of what I do, I absorb media just constantly. It's constantly being fed to me. And it's most of the time, it's not fun stuff. The happy stories aren't there. You were a bright spot in an otherwise dreary week. And I had to showcase it. It was wonderful. And it was nice to, and again, I don't want to play it up, and I know you were kind, because I had said, I had never, again, it is kind of strange, given that, I was cuter when I was younger, and people have heard the term gaydar. I have never shown up on anyone's gaydar ever. And all of a sudden,
you talked about that on the show like 100 times. Your audience is probably like, is Mark gay or what? Why does he care so much if a gay guy hits on him? And of course, I'm sitting over here like, I'm probably the only gay person watching the show right now on this journey. So if I ever meet Mark, I need to make sure I just say something. I better leave an impression, because I already was a fan of yours. This is just the truth, and just thought you were adorable. And when I told you that you had beautiful blue eyes, I wasn't lying.
Well, and thank you. I do appreciate that. However, law of averages. The reason why it bugs me is because I have a bunch of friends, some better looking, some not as good looking, and all of them been hit on at one point or another, or wound up, at some club doing something. And it's like, but what is it? I don't know what it is. And so it's like, all right.
Perfect for me.
Well, again, I appreciate the sympathy vote from you, DJ. However, it's just one of those little, yes, thank you. I appreciate that. Great. People are going to be.
Well, we don't want to make your audience vomit. So
no. Anyway, yeah. So, but I
have to, if you really want to know, Mark, guys, I know what it's like out there. If you're nervous, you're in the closet in this thing. I already been in the closet once. I can't go back in the closet. Yeah. And I also just decided to myself, like, I'm not going to fear looking into something. The Bible says, investigate all things. And it says, on top of that, you know, that includes gay people. And I'm sorry, but it's true. God has enough love for everyone. And the earth, if it is not what we're being told, it includes everyone.
And
so that left me just, you know, I'm happy to make friends.
I'm a big believer that God doesn't make mistakes ever. And everybody, there's a reason for everything and everyone. I don't care how much you hate somebody, even if that means Joe Rogan and Elon Musk, not necessarily in that order. There's always a reason for them. So
well, look, above all, we are supposed to just aim for love, and I really believe that. And do I fall short of it at times? Absolutely. But I know that the loving God is there to forgive. And above all, it says in 1 Peter, above all, love one another because it forgives a multitude of sin. And so we could debate all day long, what is sin? Do we even need salvation? All these questions are just come so loaded with this. But what I want the audience to know is that I'm just here because I believe that there's hope for this earth, round or not. I believe that God is with us and that he could be right above, and that means the earth is the most special place in all of creation at the center. And if that's true, then that opens up the possibilities of so much hope, so much redemption for things that have happened, for so much loss, for so much suffering, and it can give people a light, literally, to point to. Otherwise, the other side is like, hey, you need to have it all now. This is all you get, and you might be missing out, and there's no hope in the sense of something else that's paying attention to what you're going through. And when it's done, you're done. You go back into the nothingness and you're recycled. Maybe you come back, maybe you don't. And the world that we live in doesn't have that. That's for a lot of people, I find that to just be a bottomless pit of despair. And so this theory, flat earth theory, if it's true, it brings hope to so many people that are out there desperate for it right now. So stupid or not,
well said.
Have some grace for the people that are trying to see if this could be true, because the implications, I mean, we're living in the most beautiful time in human history.
Yeah, well said. And by the way, thank you for reminding me that the original Flat Earth clues, which are going to be 10 years old in February, was a message of hope. Always was. I tried to end it with the message of hope. People, the Christian community was giving me a hard time because I wasn't addressing God when I made them, which is why I made the clue called "They Are Hiding God," which was reproduced more times than just about any clue out there. That
was what was on my mind. That's what I knew that they were hiding God. And when this came to this, looking into these controversial topics like evolution, and to deny what the mainstream is saying where we're at, I mean, it looks so foolish, but you pushed forward and you were brave enough to put your neck out there, and this isn't where anyone wants to be in this position right now. Yeah. They want the truth, and that's why I had no choice but to admire you as a human, regardless of all the jokes and all the fun. And I'm glad that we connected just as people, but on a human level, I had major respect for anyone that's willing to stand up against the grain that much.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And it is well received. Part of me thinks it's madness. Part of me thinks it was desperation. But I'm a big believer of right place and right time, and that God puts us in a place. All you have to do is say yes to the situation. And I didn't fight it. I was in a place in Boulder, Colorado, where I was like looking. It's like, all right, show me. The type of thing. There was a reference from a movie, Christine, from the early 80s, where he turns to the car and he's like, all right, I'm done fighting you. Show me what it is. And that's, for me, that was me and God at that point. It's like, all right, what am I supposed to do with this? And it turned into something something that was hopeful, which was rare nowadays.
Well, you have the love of truth in you as well, and that's this audience, and the world is looking for it. And I'm just trying to find that line where the lies end and the truth begins.
Nice.
Show me that line. Yeah. That's all I want.
Before we have a break in a couple minutes, but I want to mention Vegas real fast. So I'm sorry, I was with you at 2 meetups in Huntington Beach.
Yeah, two. So the first one, I kind of was your friend. I didn't stay the whole time. The second time, we just ended up having more opportunity to hang out and talk. Right. But it was just very fun. In fact, again, people out there, if you're thinking about going, just go. don't be shy in the sense of just ask whoever you run into how they get into this. And you're going to be able to talk all day long to people and hear their story, hear what they do, ask people what they do to kind of help, see if we can uncover more resources for people that might have an insight into this kind of knowledge. Like if they're an engineer or if they're a pilot or if they're a scientist, it might help you on your own journey by finding and meeting those people and talking to them face to face.
And the most common question at any meetup or conference is, how long you been in? It's kind of like, and I've said it before, it's kind of like a happy AA meeting, right? Which is, AA meetings are usually pretty depressing. But this is one of the things where it's like, hey, I'm Mark. Hey, Mark. I've been in Flat Earth for 8 years now. Hey, clap, clap, clap. But that's the most common thing. It's like, how long have you been in? And everyone compares, I was in when Jeranism was starting up. I was an Eric Dubé guy. I was there, other, different content creators throughout the internet. So it's always fun to watch those conversations start spinning up.
Yeah, no, it's super fun. And again, it's just part of the investigation of just making sure you're not being deceived yourself, because nobody wants to be deceived this bad if that's what it is. And if it's a foolish psyop or whatever, at least look into it. And that's where I'm at, and it's led me here. So
right on.
I'm just so grateful, and hopefully the audience and the people out there, maybe it will help someone else that's nervous to talk to their family member about this or a loved one or whatever, because the more people that we start to interact with and just get to know and able to share ideas, it's again just questioning a narrative. And it doesn't mean that you're a bad person to do that. It just means that you're not taking things on the face value anymore, and you have reason to be skeptical. So
Hey, we've got to go to our first break, but when we come back, we're going to talk to DJ some more about stuff. And I do want to get into the Joe Rogan special, because thank you, including DJ, and people are messaging me. It's like, dude, he mentioned Flat Earth. We're going to talk about it. So, first break. Here we go.
Where is the curve? Where is the
Introducing the Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock App Meetup Maker. Never miss another meetup again. You can look up meetups in several different ways. Sort by date. You can search by location or within a 500-mile radius. To create and list your own meetup, enter the date. Give the meetup a name, a location name. Add a photo. Enter your contact information. Create a group chat name and then fill out the description with all of the details. Select your background color and hit the Save button to add your meetup to the list. Once the meetup is saved, it will ask you to create a group chat for all of the meetups so people can join the group and start a local chat community. Select Public Group. Add your welcome message, and your meetup is now available for all to see. To make sure you don't miss another meetup in your area, you can select your desired radius and whether you want push notifications or email or both. Whenever a new meetup is added in your selected radius, you get notified. The Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock Meetup Maker, bringing people together all around the plane.
Join me, Karen B, every Moon Day at 9:30 a.m. for Coffee Talk on YouTube, Rumble, and Rockfin. You never know what you'll learn about in the coffee shop. Open topic and open phones, y'all. You can also go to flatearthfestivals.com for updates on the latest news for Flattoberfest 2024 And also for meetups, local meetups. If you want to have your meetup listed on flatearthfestivals.com for free, please email flatearthfestivals@protonmail.com.
Welcome back to Strange World, part 2 of 4. It's you, me, the always delightful DJ Curious. Love the glasses, man.
So fun.
Very, very cool.
Almost always delightful.
And you know what? That was Joe Jackson stepping out from his album
Night and Day.
Yep. Which is older than DJ, I believe. It's a good album.
So much.
The what?
So much older, of course.
Yeah. So let's talk about Vegas a bit, and then we'll go into the Rogan debacle, and then we'll oh, I'm sorry, and Peanut. Yes, dude. I'm just cobbling it all together here. If I'm not giving you credit every break, you don't have a lot to complain about. You're just sitting there with your drink while you got Dairy Queen and cigarettes. Oh my God, man. Okay. So afterwards, you decided to go to Vegas. You went for broke, and it's like, I'm all in. I'm going to the conference.
Yep, I know. It was like, once you crack out of that shell, you're like, it was a big bird showed up to the conference and just ran amok.
And we hooked up pretty early, before the conference even started. You and I worked on badges together. We helped set up some stuff.
Of course, I was looking forward to seeing you because you made such a big deal about the jacket on Strange World that then you got me to call in for my first time, and I started to call in, and that was stressful. And yeah, by the time October rolled around of that year, I was ready to go. And and yeah, it was weird, you guys. I went a day early, and I ran into Mark and Karen and all of you instantly.
Yeah.
Like the second I checked in, you were there, and I'm like, well, this seems too convenient. And you were very welcoming. We're like, come on, let's go. Let's, like, you were ready to hang out. And I'm like, perfect.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this: the Flat Earth crowd, even though we feud and we battle, it's never do or die. It is a very, very cordial bunch. Yeah, especially at the conferences, the energy is so high. Yes, of course we're going to disagree on certain points. Of course we are. But at the end of the day, it's it's still not a globe. Yay! Have a drink and go to bed.
Right. Actually, I found that to be really interesting as well. When I didn't know that the Flat Earth community is divided. They, 50% or let's say, or 70, 30, however you want to slice it, believe that we're in a simulation. And I was like, ooh, that's fun. Yeah. And we got to hear all about how that could be possible, which I'm definitely open to.
Sure.
But then there's the other side that has a deep Christian faith, but it was like myself found us to be kind of not affiliated with any one religion or organization, which I think is kind of also a very common theme in the community. So I liked that. I'm like, okay, because I don't really belong to any kind of denomination, but I've been reading the Bible pretty regularly and just curious, how does this book know if what it says in the book were found to be scientifically true?
Right.
That would be interesting, wouldn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
What was some of your highlights? I know there's a lot, but what are some of the highlights from the conference?
Oh my God, so many people. Everyone just meeting all people was the highlight.
Oh,
I loved.
Any particular shout outs? You got to shout out the ladies that were.
There was. Wait, sorry.
Go ahead. Shout out the women that were on your arm pretty much the entire time.
No, but I had fun meeting the guys too, and like Tony Coriolis and Jerome, and seeing faces to a lot of your callers was great. Austin Whitsitt, Dave Weiss. I just had every minute was excitement and interesting. The music, just the whole atmosphere, the energy in the room, the people that were not partaking and wearing lanyards that were interacting with the people and just kind of seeing. It's like it's a science experiment in one setting of how different can you be, and just seeing the reactions. Remember, you guys were being warned not to flat smack anyone, which I thought was so funny. So, because people get confident, have a couple drinks, you're shooting the shit, you're playing casino, and you might turn to the person next to you like, hey, did you know the Earth is flat? And it's like, oh, you want to start trouble.
Was there anyone that you wanted to meet that you didn't get the chance?
I feel like I actually met everybody that I wanted to, and ended up having dinner with people, became friends with you. Like, it exceeded expectations for me by a million.
Nice.
And the best way, again, it really was about the human connection. That's the part that I personally found so necessary, because I had felt isolated from my friends. I'd felt isolated from some family members. And when you're sitting there and just like, dude, am I really going crazy? Why do I have to be this different? I already dealt with this all my life. I'm not looking to put a target on my head. And then you're meeting people that are like way more confident in all this, going, okay, explain to me a little bit more why you're so confident. Like, it just kind of was so helpful.
Right. And you're absolutely right. What I encourage everybody, if you've never been to a meetup, it changes everything. It grounds you. It and I've heard it time and time again over the last 9 years, which is it makes it real for you. It solidifies everything. You're sitting all of a sudden. I've seen people kind of tear up at tables where it's like, I go, what's wrong? And it's like, oh, well, I'm here. I'm actually here, and I'm so glad. And I've watched people come into restaurants, come to the meetups and walk, like chicken out at the last minute, where they're like, they can look, they can see the group of people, and like, nope. I mean, even like the second meetup ever, the first meetup I ever did up here in Seattle, there was at least 2 couples that made it to the restaurant, and I could see them. They're like looking, going, okay, this is as far as we're going to go. We're out of here. And so
it's nerve-wracking. It really is nerve-wracking. But hey, Karen B did a great job.
She did.
And
she did a wonderful job.
If I make it to South Carolina, is that where that's where that?
Mm-hmm.
Is that this? Okay. If I make it, I'm gonna be so happy to meet whoever wants to say hi. I mean, just don't be shy, guys. Like, let's make a community, make friends, and eventually see how, because I feel like what happens is you want to interact with people that are seeing what you're seeing and keeping an eye out.
Right.
Because that's what my friends who have been kind enough to go, okay, just show me what you got. Why are you so convinced of this is something that's like really groundbreaking, if it's true, is how I feel. The few friends that are now kind of like got one eye on this side and one eye back in, knowing a little bit more than they used to, and now admitting, yeah, some things are peculiar when it comes to space, or some things are not adding up when it came to seeing too far and the curvature rate and doing the calculations. It's like, this stuff becomes an endless wormhole, but it's if you look at it positively, you can have fun.
Yeah.
And
speaking of stuff, and in terms of all the different calculations and science experiments and everything, again, I get emails all the time. People recommend stuff to me. However, I was not going to watch. Let's segue into this. I was not going to watch the Joe Rogan thing, right? And you reached out and going, you really should watch it. So before my take, you watched it. What was your take on it? What was your impression?
Well, I'm actually a Joe Rogan fan. I'm not afraid to say that. I've been watching his show forever and following his journey, knowing that he can't escape that a lot of his friends now, Sam Tripoli, Eddie Bravo, I've Jim Brewer, they've all kind of seen and dabbled into the flat side of things and know what to look for, and if not, are very out flat earthers.
Right.
So, when Joe made the first joke, he was like, I could see why people think it's flat. Right. It looks flat. And I was like, oh, perfect. This is like, that's a kind flat earth joke.
Yes.
It could. So, but then fast forward towards the end of the segment, which give him credit. He joked about aliens because he goes, if aliens turn out not to be true, I'm going to look like an idiot.
Right.
And it was like, well, you know what? If space isn't real, then maybe aliens where you think they're from aren't real. So technically that could be your fate. So if you're going to point the finger and make fun of a group over here, it's like, you better know what evidence they have before you go that route, because it's only going to make you look a little bit foolish. But he's going to be so excited. Honestly, I want to say this to Joe Rogan. If this ever comes to you, you're going to be so excited that you will forgive yourself for being deceived, but it opens up an opportunity and possibilities that you never thought possible. Yeah, and I'm excited for you when you just look into it and see how you feel.
I will say this. I told you this before. I am a comedy snob. My top 5 comics of all time: George Carlin, in this order: Eddie Murphy, Robin Williams, Richard Pryor, and Bill Burr. Joe Rogan has had his thumb in a lot of pies, right? I think he's a fantastic host of game shows and stuff like that. I like his podcast. I actually thought my favorite thing Joe Rogan ever did was when he played the kooky maintenance guy on news radio, way back in the day.
Wow.
Great cast, and he was a conspiracy guy in that show, which is kind of ironic, right? When he did this particular podcast, and yes, I mean, I watched it twice. For you, I sat down again today and just focused. I wasn't playing anything in the background. I was just me watching the show for a DJ. And at the 8-minute mark, I was encouraged because, I don't believe in the moon, in the moon landing. He said that like in the first 10 minutes. It's like, wow, 8-minute mark. That's awesome, right? And then at the 34-minute mark, I caught that. It's like, well, the earth looks flat, right? And I know where he was going with that. He wanted to follow it up with, and I know it's all scripted, which was, that doesn't mean it is flat, right? Which I know that's what he was kind of hinting at. But then he gets to the 58-minute mark. And I don't know if he had multiple writers. It kind of sounded, it wasn't a disjointed routine. I loved his self-deprecating thing, like what he said. Like he said, like, if I'm wrong on the alien, the aliens are wrong. Because he poked fun at himself and cancel culture quite a few times during the show, which I thought was great.
Yeah.
When he got to the 58-minute mark and he throws out that line where he says, he was talking about using the word retarded. And he goes, but if you see a grown man makes a flat earth documentary, right? It puts out there, it's like, hey, there's nothing medically wrong with him. He's effing retarded. And honestly, there was a flush that came over me. It's like, oh my God, he's not talking about me, right? It's like, he can't actually be poking at me. I hope not. But I put this invitation. If anyone wants to put this out there, I want to say this. And I know you agree with me on some of these points, which is, look, he's been doing podcasts for years. I've been doing this show for 9 years. He has never had a flat earther on his show, ever. Right. The closest he's ever gotten is Eddie Bravo, and that's flat earth adjacent. When Eddie's a flat earther, and he does spread the word, but he doesn't, he does flat smack. Let's put it that way. But he doesn't do dedicated content to flat earth to people on a regular basis. And I don't think he's showed up at our conferences or anything. I would love to go and talk to Joe Rogan. Just sit down, like, Joe, watch some of my other interviews. I've done hundreds of them. I would love to talk to you. You don't have to bring one of yours. I know you don't think you're very smart. And I know you'd love to bring a science expert in there to have your back and just come at me. It's like, drop the hammer on Mark, right? It's like, you do not have to do that. You and I've listened to your interview style. I would talk with this guy about all sorts of subjects. And I think he sells himself short. That is not a short joke, but he does sell himself short, which is, I know he catches a lot of hell for that. I don't really care. Which is, he doesn't think he's very smart, but I do have a bone to pick, right? And if this is a point of contention, hopefully it's not a big one, which is when he said, and I saw it coming, when he says, when he gets really anxious when he talks to smart people, and I knew it was coming. It's like, oh God, here it comes, because everybody knows, and he goes, well, Elon Musk is my friend, and he's probably the smartest man alive, and it's like, it's like, oh, please, no. And I know for Red Team and that audience, look, I've got family members that think that Elon Musk is the smartest man alive. I know this. I've sat between them at family gatherings. That's like, oh yeah, he's a genius. It's like, look, find me a guy with a master's or a PhD that says this, that backs that up. There is no merit to that. However, when I talk to people, I don't come off as the smartest guy in the room. I just talk to you. Anyway, I just want to put it out there. Joe, please, you've waited too long already, right? You've danced around this. Hell, I mean, what was it, 4 years ago? He tried to get Eric Dubay to debate Neil deGrasse Tyson. He should have known better. Right. Neil Tyson was never going to come on that show and debate him, ever. And I know he wanted to bring Eric Dubay on because Eddie Bravo told him to. You want to piss off Eddie Bravo? Bring me on. Because Eddie Bravo thinks I work for the government. And that would work out because you and I both been accused of working for the government at one point or another. So we could exchange notes and stuff off camera. So that'd be kind of good. All right. Any closing?
Oh, don't be scared.
No, don't be scared. Seriously, just bring me on. I would love to talk to you about this. Just
be a rating smash.
Yeah, at the very least, again, if you want to bring on whoever, some PhD to just light me up, that's fine. It's not going to help, but
can do it.
But I'd love it. Look, okay. Last part, and then we got to go to headlines, which is you have nothing to lose at this point. Look, in this election year, all this nutty stuff you already said during the show that World War III is coming. You got nothing to lose. In fact, come on, call up Alex Jones. Alex Jones brought David Weiss on his show, right, with Eddie Bravo. So if Alex Jones can do that, I know you're friends with Alex Jones. Know you look up to him. Why aren't you doing it? Why not? Yeah. So anyway, there you go. There's my play. I would love to talk to you. Have your producer call me. And by the way, if you guys are listening to the show, if you know people how to reach out, send his producer stuff. Tweet or whatever. Send stuff. Get me in there. I'd love to do it.
Do it.
Yeah, why not? I've done a lot of others. I mean, I just did Jim Brewer not that long ago, so why not? Call up Jim Brewer's people.
It's time, Joe.
Yeah.
I've been following your journey. You have all these. You have geologists on. You have people in ancient archaeology like Jimmy Corsetti. You have Randall Carlson and Graham Hancock talking about these ancient civilizations. And this is ancient cosmology, and Mark will do a fine job. And you want to talk to him so you can actually get a grip on what the theory is with someone who knows it inside and out. Who better than Mark? If Flat Earth is so foolish and you're going to use those words against it, then Mark, and he's willing to stand up to you, take the challenge, Joe. Nothing to lose.
Perfect. And we'll segue right from that into space headlines, which we're going to make fun of. Because, again, Joe said on stage, I don't believe we went to the moon. Great, because you're not going to believe in this stuff either. You ready? DJ, here we go.
Ready, let's do it.
Ars Technica. SpaceX announces the first human mission to ever fly over the planet's poles. Okay, it doesn't count if it's a fake spacecraft. Airplanes have never gone pole to pole, but you're going to say, I know what you're doing here. It's like, okay, no, we're going to do it in space. Really? We have no way to prove this. And it's SpaceX announcing it, which means it's going to be delayed for at least 3 years. So whatever. Like the crew here, like what you're doing with the crew. Works. Yep. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, nice. Next one. This one, partially from you. Boeing Starliner astronauts now have been in space for more than 60 days with no end in sight.
Sunita, how are you doing?
Oh yeah, we'll get
the Flat Earthers care about you. The Glovers aren't even talking about it.
Yes. So these two supposedly went up. They had some technical difficulties and have been just staying up there. Again, life support systems, apparently unlimited. Food. We never even talk about food. Do you have a lot of extra food for these guys? Are you rationing it? Are you going to talk about the rationing? No. Maybe he's going to eat those flowers there that he's carrying. But to that effect, let's go into this, right? This is something, is Sunita Williams losing her sight in space as a 9-day mission now turns into 2 months due to problems with Boeing's Starliner? She undergoes eye examinations on the ISS. And by the way, her chin is world class. I'm still trying to figure it out. I mean, look at that chin. Wow. That is something. Absolutely something. So this is autoplane.
I played the fifth.
The what?
I played the fifth.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to. She obviously was.
What's it? You've been stuck up there for 60 days. Come on. Aren't you getting nervous yet? Or are you underground? How's that going? Are you bored?
Yeah.
I hope they're keeping you entertained for another year.
Where's the drama, right? When are we going to get these two back? Right? Where's the Apollo 13 drama? Apollo 13, they were lost for just a couple days, if that. And it's like everyone was losing their mind. These guys are stuck up there for months. And they're now saying they may not even get them back by Christmas. It's like, how does that even happen?
You think if she's not really up in space, then let's just fantasize what is she really doing? Is she cozy where she's at? Is she at a tropical destination? Is she smoking a cigarette, laughing her ass off? Like, what do you think she's doing?
Right. This one from Popular Mechanics, which used to be quite a magazine back in the day. A world-changing underwater UFO caught on video is a legit threat, says the Navy. And that's an interesting shot there. I'm pretty sure that's just a photoshopped image. But anyway, Chief Oceanographer of the U.S. Navy believes the U.S. government should study the unidentified submersible objects, otherwise known as USOs. Retired Rear Admiral claims these could be a threat to maritime security. It's like, come on. Okay, first, do I believe in them? Yes, I absolutely do. Absolutely believe in UFOs. I watched them myself for a long time using night vision binoculars for years when I was in Colorado. And if they use a unified field engine, which they would, then they can travel underwater very easily without any problems. They can go to just about any depth, which was touched on in the wonderful James Cameron early work, The Abyss, from 1989, I believe, with Ed Harris.
So cool.
It was very cool. And yeah, I love it. I love the whole thing. And again, it's a nice clickbait thing. But if it's a real threat, we're not going to get stories about it. It's just going to happen. That's one of those things that the government just kind of leaks out there. But I like it.
You know what that makes me think about? It makes me think about Bill Cooper's book, Behold a Pale Horse, where he documents and writes about a USO, that he saw a USO. So I don't know how much you know about that story or his book, but he kind of planted the seed many years ago that UFOs could be underwater, because before that I hadn't really heard much about that possibility, which adds another element of the mystery of what's going on here. And more people possibly have seen things. And so it's nice that on the flat side, hey, UFOs can still exist. They may be government owned and operated and constructed,
right.
But that's what we're trying to investigate. Where are they really coming from? Or if you believe that there's more land beyond the poles, which some people do in this community, they could be from there. Right. So it is part of the mystery of this whole thing that the flat side's trying to get to the bottom of.
Yeah. And I always find it interesting because it's mostly I mean, there's been a lot of guys in the military, Navy, that have mentioned it in passing. Of course, they're not smartphones haven't been around that long. So the Navy guys, it's not like they could break out cameras. And even if they could, they wouldn't be allowed to show them because of, depending on the mission, the mission's like, oh, sorry, you can't even disclose where you were when this happened. So you can't possibly release any photos. Cruise ships have changed that a little bit, but there aren't nearly as many cruise ships as, say, Navy boats in different parts of the world. So interesting, but we'll see. We'll keep following it. I'm just waiting. Look, until one, I've told people, until I've watched so many across the sky that until one actually parks itself over the lawn out here in the forest, I'm not going to be satisfied, and I'm waiting for it. I'm calling them every freaking day. It's like, come on. Do it. I'm kind of like Joe Rogan in that aspect. I really want him to show up. Absolutely want him.
Well, I want Mars Attacks to show up. We come in peace. We come in peace.
Nice. And by the way, I do want to mention one more thing. I'm not going to. Yes, I agree. People have heard me rant about Elon Musk all day long. I just want to throw this out there before I forget it. Elon. There is one thing that Elon and I agree on, which is the virtual reality option. Which is he believes in virtual worlds. I believe in virtual worlds. He and I are on the same page there. And but being that he comes from a tech background, he'd better believe in that. I mean, otherwise I'd question if he was even in the tech background. But I would love to talk about that as well. Okay, we have 3 clown worlds, and they all come from the same place. TMZ Sports. TMZ, they are the finest journalists in the world. They should all be winning awards on a regular basis. And, the Olympics just wrapped up, the closing ceremonies. And, U.S. won medals and China won medals. And there was a boxing controversy. And Simone Biles is the new version of Mary Lou Retton and all this stuff. So what's TMZ do? Oh, no. TMZ's going straight for the gutter. So let's talk about it. And these guys are both French, right? France's Anthony Ammirati failed vault hurts, but I'm ready to joke about my pole. Okay, if you guys didn't know, in fact, the video is, we'll get the video in the second one here. The French pole vaulter who cleared the bar, unfortunately, was a little sloppy in his form, and his junk hit the bar and knocked the bar off. And normally this wouldn't be a big deal, except as you know, you can see it here, because it's the pole vault that it writes itself. And so what happened because of that? Well, let's look. Oh crap. I got rid of it. Hang on 1 second. French pole vaulter. Sorry, Peanut. TMZ.
Got the suspense. I'm dead.
Sorry. No, it's okay. Oh, I got it back. Thank God. Okay, so what happened was he got a $250,000 offer from a porn site apparently called Cam Soda. I've never been to it, so how good could it be? Show your pole skills on camera. Again, this is what the Olympics brought us, right? And there he is. Here he is. Ready? There he is. Look at that. Oh. Yeah, let's watch that again real quick. Ready? There it is. Yeah. And let's face it. It was, that's what did it. And
I've seen it probably 100 times, I have to admit.
Yeah, I can see it. But that's not all. Let's end with one more from TMZ, which is, ready? Again, I love these guys. TMZ, French Olympic diver. Why France, right? Light as a feather, stiff as a board, Olympics bulge bonanza. Yep.
Mark, you're just adding fuel to the fire.
I know. And there he is. It's like, yeah, French guy with a...
These were the two biggest stories of the Olympics this week that I came across.
Yeah, well, they were. It's like, okay, that's
just so sad. I mean, what about the poor Olympians who won medals out of no idea what happened? These bulges just took over the world. What does the world come to, guys? You come to the flat side. We know this. We're doomed.
Yeah, Peanut, by the way, says, why didn't you cover the breakdancer? It's like, okay, first off, the fact that...
Oh, I loved her.
Oh, she was so horrible. I can't believe they introduced breakdancing as a sport. Plus, why'd you introduce it 40 years later? Why? And yeah, no, that was too easy. That just... But by the way, last thing before we go to break here, I just want to mention, this guy here, his friend... his buddies, never pose with the other guy. Just get whoever's posing with him, make sure you're in street clothes, because, sorry, it's just not going to happen. So, yeah, there you go.
Don't try to make me jealous, Mark.
Nice. All right, that's it. We're going to go to break, and when we come back, I will get that screen back up. We will take your phone calls, so 848-222-2480. Where's my break stuff? There it is. No. Me?
And cream.
Don't forget to customize your Flat Earth Clock referral code and wake up more minds out of the Matrix. Now your referral points earn DOME cryptocurrency tokens on the Pulse chain. Enter your MetaMask wallet address and all your previous and future referrals will automatically earn DOME coins. In the next few months, there will be an airdrop to all users that have referral points in their account and have entered their MetaMask wallet address. Any users that have referrals and do not have their wallet address added will forfeit their tokens, and they will be divided up between all of the people who have a wallet address added. Some cryptocurrencies are proof of work, some are proof of stake. DOME is proof of mine. By waking people up to our amazing flat realm, you are mining DOME coins. Become a DOME whale and wake up the world.
Have you ever looked away from Earth into the black void?
Because you can see the stars.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and
We were never able to see stars from the lunar surface or on the daylight side of the moon.
It's not a black void. I mean, it's black, but there's all kinds of little polka dots.
Space is fake AF. Space is fake AF.
There's more than stars. You can see planets. You can see moons.
you see the gas.
But don't let it say the sky was not the limit. We fly to the moon in another second. But we haven't been back.
Welcome back to Strange World, part 3 of 4. It's you, me, the delightful DJ Curious. And, hey, look at that. Over there on that screen, it's Peanut. Look over there. Who I don't think appreciated the French swim team nearly as much as we did. But come on, it's funny. Again, sex sells. I love the fact that TMZ, like the whole Olympics, all this wonderful pageantry, it's like, what are we focusing on? Yeah, dick size. Makes sense. All right, phone number to call in is 8. Oh, wait, one more thing before we pick up the phone lines. 848-222-2480. That's 848-222-2480. One more thing for Joe Rogan, which is, at this point, come on, peer pressure. Almost every other large channel and news agency has done a dedicated Flat Earth segment. Everybody from CNN to PewDiePie to Logan Paul came to a freaking conference, for God's sakes. And he did that years ago. So every channel has done at least one. Many have done several. So what's your excuse? Come on. Peer pressure. All your friends are doing it. Why aren't you doing it? In fact, I would let his chat room decide. I would go in the chat room. It's like, should I bring a flat Earth person on there? Seriously, go and type it. Look, give the people what they want. First rule of media: give the people what they want. Customer is always right. Right. Yes, I agree. Hey, Peanut, I think you have to hit the phone lines again, because I don't think they can talk to us yet, because I'm looking at... Call in. Because I don't see you on there, Peanut, right? You have to be on there for this to happen? Yeah, he's got to be on there. So he is working on it. Just so you know, as I'm looking at the phone board, I see 505-516-786-781, 518-469-480-918-646. And Peanut is trying to connect so that when he does, I can talk to them. He doesn't know why he's not showing up yet. That's okay. We're working on it. No worries. In the meantime, DJ Knight can pad. Hey, let's talk about Flat Earth stuff. What do you want to? What do you got? You got any questions on me right at the moment? Yeah, anything. Ooh, all right. Meteors for me, that's an old question, but for me, meteors, okay, I can tell you what they're not. They are not what space people describe them at. And I know I see your
conference
there
center.
We go. Finally got the phone line set up.
There are 9 parties in the conference.
I know.
You are a host.
Hello, everyone. Take a look inside. Come to my living room.
Hang on. For whatever reason. Let's shrink you
I
down.
did do the dishes and cleaned up.
I gotta lock you down so you don't screw up. Okay, that's better, right? Except your name's now below your thing. Okay, we're gonna live with that for the time being. Sorry, DJ. You have a little bar in your chest. Which is okay. Meteors are not the space rocks. What I like to tell people is like, look, if you were gonna build this thing mechanically or even as a simulation, you're just gonna use metal ore, fire it through some railgun technology to shallow angle, let the atmosphere heat it up, but you're not going to make them land. That's the key, which is they're just fireworks in the sky. And by that I mean, think about this. There are 6 billion smartphones in the world right now, right? More people have smartphones than running water. And yet, we do not, to date, I challenge anybody, please send me the video, of a meteor going from sky to ground. Nothing. Everyone's like, oh, here's a crater here and a crater there. Is it a fresh crater? Is it a crater that's happened in the last week or month? Show me anything. I mean, come on. Remember, if 3/4 of the world is water, you'd think at least somebody from a cruise ship, right, would see something going, hitting the drink, or a fishing boat, or somebody next to the beach or something like that, or a forest. It's never happened.
It is kind of interesting how we don't have to fear a meteor shower. Like, hey guys, watch your cars, maybe park indoors today, watch your head. Nothing. No one's ever been bonked on the head by a stray meteor that I've ever heard. And so again, how real is it? Is it a real threat, or are they just making it up?
Yeah, good point. All right. Good padding, DJ. You're a pro. Now we've got a whole bunch of phone calls. So let's pick up. We're going to go to 505. He's been on hold for 70 minutes. He's in New Mexico, as you know, was old Mexico, but hey, we're America. What are you going to do about it? What's up?
Hey, Mark. Hey, DJ. Hey, Flat. Strange World audience. Yeah. Good news on the Olympics, including breakdancing. That's really good to hear. I'm sure everybody's getting out there breaking to Electric Boogaloo and watching it with popcorn tonight.
Why don't you go for the original, man? There's no stopping us.
I couldn't remember.
No one does it better.
Oh boy.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna win awards for that.
Good memories.
Yeah.
Good job. Yeah, I'm really enjoying the show as usual. And and you're right, Mark and DJ, the meteor thing just always drives me nuts, because that is just right in your face, that you just can never, there's nothing. And I know years ago in National Geographic, I read some articles before I was a flat earther, and I know they were pumping up some of these incidences, and I always wondered about them, about how people were, paying big bucks for these proven meteors, like millions of dollars. And I always really wondered, like, who are these people and who's actually getting money, if they are. Mm-hmm. Just that was a big propaganda scam too. I don't know if you ever seen any of that stuff. And I haven't seen any of that stuff lately, though, about paying money for meteors or meteorites.
No.
And yeah.
I bought a piece of a meteor once.
Yep.
You idiot. Oh my God.
You did?
I have a piece right here in my living room. Oh, I just realized that too. Thanks a lot.
Sorry, man.
I loved space, everybody.
Awesome.
I wanted to be an astronaut, so forgive me. But I do think it's peculiar that when you Google what are the size of meteors, it says they're the size of grains of sand. And I actually verified this with an astrophysicist who I ran into one time in a jacuzzi at a hotel in Hawaii. Don't ask me later. But the point is, I got to ask them, hey, how come these meteors don't pummel the satellites? And wouldn't they be all sizes, like maybe a golf ball sized one or a football size? And, these are genuine questions. I'm playing dumb a little bit. And you know what she said? She said, oh, it's a pet peeve of mine. People don't know. They're the size of grains of sand. And she jumped up and ran off. And I was like, okay, sorry for asking. And they did not know that I was flat curious or anything.
No.
So if they're the size of grains of sand, how are we seeing them from so far away?
Oh, no. I mean, yeah, of course.
What caused the fingers on the moon then?
Yeah. And to your point, I don't want to drag this out, but you guys have heard me say it, which is the whole theme of the movie Gravity with Sandra Bullock and George Clooney was that a microcosm couple micrometeors hit a satellite that careened into another satellite, which hit all of them and turned the whole sky into a giant dumpster fire, which eventually hit the space shuttle. Why hasn't that?
The chain reaction of her nightmare.
Yeah, the chain reaction, which should have happened by now. Look, anybody that knows law of
Nightmare day in space.
Yeah, it should have happened by now, and it didn't. So what? Again, I know the stats people are be like, well, it just hasn't. It's like, how? How can you tell me that every satellite has been absolutely perfectly aligned and nobody made a mistake anywhere? Because remember, once the first one starts, you can't correct it. It turns into a pinball arcade and just goes bing, 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 bing. And that's the premise of the movie. Big plot hole there. So, sorry, go.
Wow. Yeah, no, right on. There were so many good fake space stories this week too. I was getting back into it. This newly found star that, was made out of lithium. That kind of rings a bell for, I don't know, pushing the lithium product these days. And then the watermelon-shaped asteroid. Wow, it just so happens, it's in season right now. I don't know what that was about. but this space... go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're good. You're good. I was laughing at DJ's glasses. It's good.
Yeah, the space perspective, though, this one was interesting. I don't know if anybody saw this, but real quick, it's a company that's come out and advertising that they're gonna take people out on a boat in the ocean, and they're gonna launch people in this spherical. It's a 16-foot diameter spherical pod, and it's pretty cool looking. It has like a large window all the way around it in the middle. And it has a pointed cone on the bottom so that it could land a little safer. And how it's going to operate is they're going to inflate a huge 600-foot balloon, and it's going to take people that pay a lot of money, $125,000, to go up to the stratosphere. So you're going pretty slow, 12 miles an hour, go up 2 hours, and then come back down. But this is what got me here. The article goes on to say, and I quote, "It takes you up a couple hours to get there, so you'll start to see the sunrise over the horizon." And the curved horizon of our planet. So, and it kind of reminds me just of basically, and this, interestingly enough, is the same distance as Felix Baumgartner's jump, 24 miles in the stratosphere. So, yeah, and of course we all saw the two different camera lenses. And of course, we're all familiar with the whole, controversy over, when we're in a plane.
Right.
So I guess they're going to, just ignore that it's, not a curve up there either.
Right.
But they are going to feed you lots of good food, and there is a bar. So I think they're hoping you're going to drink and really not pay attention to any of this stuff when you're up there. But yeah, so I don't know if anybody saw it, but it is interesting. I think these guys actually might, maybe this is a long shot, but I mean, a balloon, why not? Maybe they will make a go of maybe sending some people up, but it's a 50-50 shot, I'm thinking. But I don't know if anybody saw that, but yeah, that was a pretty good one.
Sounds cool. Let's do it.
Yeah. All right, man. Any shout outs?
Yeah, I'll do it. Matt, Amy, Jesse, Jan, of course, in Dallas, Karen B, Patricia Steer, Mark Sargent, of course, DJ, and Peanut. Keep it flat, everybody.
All right. Have a good one, man.
Later, guys.
See ya. All right, we're gonna go to 786, and I believe this guy out of Florida was the guy that had audio issues, and he bought a new microphone. So, what's happening, 786?
Yeah, last week we had some problems. This is okay.
Better.
Right?
Much.
Things happen.
Much better.
But much better, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I want to start this off by saying this. Mark, for all the people out there, brothers and sisters that are listening, Mark needs donations to buy new audio equipment. He's too proud to ask. He will never ask for this. Okay? He's a very simple man. But the reason why there's so many problems every week it's because Mark will not tell you that he's a simple man. And look, so just fuck the T-shirts, the DVDs, and all that stuff. Just use that money to purchase Mark Sargent some new equipment, people. Brothers and sisters that are listening out here.
Oh, no, I got you. And I appreciate the sentiment. However, I've never asked for money. I never will. And to be fair, as far as the audio,
you didn't ask.
I know. I know you did.
I did.
I know you did, and I appreciate it. However, it's not even a question of money. It's just a question of setting everything up on my side. For people that don't remember, Karen was doing this 2 months ago.
Mark, you used to be in the video game industry,
I know, but
you used to work in the video game.
Yes.
So are you telling me that you don't know how to set these things up?
Dude, I
can bill you your computer.
Dude, I had not live streamed until 7 weeks ago. Never live streamed ever.
It doesn't matter, Mark. It's your equipment, and you like to tout yourself as being a video game.
I got you.
Extravagant.
We hear you. That's so sweet. But Mark, it's true. You're a gentleman, and you don't ask for it. So that's testament to your character. But hey, what's on your mind, caller? Besides that.
That was what was on my mind initially, right?
Okay.
But how much time do I have left, Mark?
2 minutes.
Tell me the truth. 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, so really quickly, now you can't say anything during this. Really quickly, I'm the guy that called in last week for the first time. And what I need my brothers and sisters to understand is this. Satan runs this world. You need to understand that. Satan runs this world. So when you are questioning yourself about why this is happening, why that is happening, it is simply that. And there's not enough people that say that. Satan runs the world. He controls all of the nations. And people don't say that enough, including the people that know what Scripture says. He controls this world. So even though Mark said earlier that he loves the United States. I said you can't talk, Mark.
All right.
I said you can't talk.
Oh, we lost him. I don't know what happened. Maybe we'll pick him up later. Maybe we won't. All right, we're going to go to 469. 469, what's happening? 469. Are you there? Sometimes we just have people that are listening. Give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. Gone. Coriolis. 480. Are you unmuted?
Hey, Mark. Hey, DJ. Tony Coriolis.
It's Tony Coriolis.
Hey, what's happening, Tony?
Hey. Doing good. DJ, you're doing great up there. Really settling into the show quite well.
He says thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, okay, I couldn't hear that. But I was gonna say, Mark, when you said what two ladies were holding on to DJ's arm the whole time, and then DJ brought my name up first. That's an honor, so thanks, DJ. But wasn't it Darlene and Bronca?
Yes, it was Darlene and Bronca from Canada.
Okay.
Two lovely women.
Yeah, I thought that's the name you were fishing for.
Yeah. I visited.
And then I think maybe Bronca's daughter's name was Taylor. Yeah, I met her too. Everyone was so cool out there. And even when the last guy said Satan's running the world, like, you got to wonder, does Satan not know about Flattoberfest? That's like the coolest shit ever. Like, how did you let that go on? That was so cool.
Well, look, it is true that evil, if this is real, then evil is real. And that's why hope and ultimate goodness on the other end of that spectrum is so important. And I do believe that that's ultimately love, and it's paying attention. So we really don't have to live in fear in this life. And that's why when you kind of unplug, so to speak, from this globe propaganda matrix, and you realize that, hey, ultimate goodness is going to win, because how else did we get there? It means there's a creator. It means it knows you and me and all of us inside and out. And when you start to see its signature on the earth, it opens your eyes, guys. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm. And I kind of think, another saying that people say along with like how Satan runs the world is life is an illusion. And maybe just the whole Satan thing is just an illusion, because there is so much good if you don't focus on the bad. That's just how I prefer to think, you know.
Well, there is hope, and there's redemption.
Totally. And I just know one point in Flattoberfest, I hung out with DJ a pretty good amount, and me and DJ were walking, and then we saw Mark. Mark was at like the steakhouse. I specifically remember because Mark was so cool. I met him before, and like he's smart enough of a guy where he remembers that he met you, and he knows your face and everything. So he saw us walk in, and he just had a calm look, like, you know what, this is why Flattoberfest goes on, just to, you know, bring people together. And I just could tell Mark was happy when he saw, you know, just people around, and that was great.
Yeah.
And then DJ, you said that you might be thinking about this Flattoberfest, so that was good to hear. You know, hope you make it out there. I'm going to be there.
Yeah, I would love to go. So we'll see.
Gotcha. And then, yeah, we do got some time. We got like 1 month from the Zulu meetup out in Atlantic City. I'm going to that one too, Flat City.
Cool.
All right.
Cool. Anything else?
Well, it was great to meet you.
I did want to bring up. Oh, you're good.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to bring up to Mark. Mark, since me and you are both monkeys in the Chinese New Year, you know, I like watching monkey movies. I don't know about you, being a fellow monkey, but I watched the movie King Kong Escapes that came out in 1968, so in your year. Have you seen that movie?
Probably in passing. It's not my favorite King Kong movie. And by the way, for people that don't know, we're talking about the Chinese zodiac. I am an Earth monkey, and my favorite King Kong movie was Jeff Bridges' King Kong 1977, where King Kong climbed the Twin Towers, of all things.
Yeah. In the King Kong Escapes one, it's 1968, and it's a really old technology-looking King Kong. You got to see it. You got to just look up the movie and see it. But within the first 5 minutes, they have a robot King Kong digging for Element X up in Antarctica. Then there's like a floating car. They really go all out on this movie.
Right.
So King Kong Escapes from 1968. It's a great movie.
I will revisit that one. Awesome.
Oh my God, monkey movies are kind of fun. I was just having like an itch to rewatch the original Planet of the Apes just to see what propaganda was in there.
Charlton Heston.
That is another great monkey movie. Good call.
Yeah.
That Spawn. That franchise is a lot bigger than people think. That is a big franchise. The first franchise went from the late 60s into the 70s, and then the second one still going, which started some years ago with James Franco, I believe. That was the lead in that. And then somebody don't forget and of course and the TV show. Yes, I know. Peanut always reminds me of the freaking TV shows. Thank you.
What did you think of the Mark Wahlberg one, Mark?
I thought, that was done by Tim Burton, and it was probably the most stylized. And I gotta tell you, I gotta tell you, and I know he was married to Helena Bonham Carter during that movie, from Fight Club. And I gotta tell you, I'm looking at even with the makeup, she was still hot. And that I was looking at her, wow, she's still amazing. And I know he probably did that to her deliberately, but it was fun. But at the same time, I couldn't take it too seriously. With that massive plot hole at the end with the monkey Abraham Lincoln, which even I sat in the theater when it's like even the generic theater people are like, wait, how does that work? Exactly. Why would there be a Lincoln Memorial with a monkey in it?
Remember they gave her eyebrows to make her look more attractive as an ape?
Right. But it was.
I was at that age where that movie was really kind of roping me in. I don't know. I was so into the style and the fact that it was Tim Burton, but I did leave there disappointed with the ending, feeling like a little underwhelmed. Yeah,
but it was production value, that's for sure. They spent some money on that thing. Tim Burton could get away with like just blowing millions. I don't know what they told him in the days. Anyway, it was fine. It was fine. Anyway, hey, we gotta let you go. We want to pick up. I don't know if we can pick up one more call. We'll pick up a short one. We gotta let you go though. Okay.
No problem.
All right. See ya.
No problem. Peace out. Everyone's awesome. Yeah. Peace.
Bye. Let's pick up Tulsa. Can you say what you want to say in 2 minutes or not? Tulsa, Oklahoma. Did I already pick him up at one point? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You know what? DJ and I are just going to talk for a couple minutes because I don't want to ruin anything. So the phone number to call in is 848-222-2480. That's 848-222-2480. What was your favorite monkey movie of all time? Was it? Do you think it was The Night Charlton Heston?
Yeah, I mean Planet of the Apes, but I did like the original King Kong, even because it was fun to make fun of as a kid. And I grew up in the era where we fantasized about like the Godzilla versus King Kong movie.
Sure.
And then it started to come out, and they were so bad and just like hateable.
Right.
But just the whole concept was always interesting to me. I liked the idea of apes taking over. I still think that's interesting.
It is one of the greatest plot twists in sci-fi history, which was, the end of the original with Charlton Heston, where, they find the burned out Statue of Liberty. And,
right.
It's like, he never left. It wasn't an alien world. And it was so, again, that movie, I believe, that was 1968, way ahead of its time. And I can't remember, Peanut will have to help me out. I think Rod Serling from The Twilight Zone, did he write the screenplay for it? I think he was the one that kind of wrote in the plot twist. So that was kind of fun.
So that was compelling for when that came out then, because as a kid, it felt like, wow, that was...
it was huge. Freaking huge. And it influenced so many people. It was, what happened to your video?
Oh, sorry, guys. A quick break.
All right, we're going to break. Hey, it's time to go to break anyway. And while we go to break, we're going to leave you on the screen just for a second so I can figure out what the hell happened. Peanut, do you have any theory for what happens with DJ? I don't. All right, we're going to go to our break. When we come back, we'll pick up your phone calls. You're going to hear some music, and the commercial will start, but I think I can fix DJ in the meantime.
Help me.
All right, let's see what we can do with you.
Here.
What?
Bam.
How does that happen?
Alpha 33, target is on property, approaching food trailer.
Engage Delta 9.
Roger. Alpha 33 descending.
Hey, I know you.
They might be listening.
CIA?
Maybe.
Aliens?
Probably.
Globalists?
Definitely. I may have already said too much.
We have what you need.
Really?
It's flat
I'm listening.
and round
Go on.
and delicious.
Tell me the secret. I see the truth in it.
I thought you might.
This truly is a special place.
Yeah, we like to think so.
Will you be here tomorrow?
We move around quite a bit.
Ah, a mobile command center. A strong strategy. I like where your head's at.
Anything else?
I was never here.
intercept. Copy that, Alpha 33. Come on back, let's eat.
Welcome back to Strange World Part 404. It's you, me, the always delightful DJ Curious, and Peanut. As we watch the weird technical issues. You know what's weird about what happens with his video? Is it happens on its own, and it locks down, and it only happens to him, and then it self-corrects, right? So I think it would have gone back to normal if I would just waited for some reason. So I fix it, and all of a sudden it goes, hey, it's DJ, big. I don't know. Whatever you're doing over. Oh, and that's Mr. Who is that?
This is Dukes.
Dukes. Daisy Dukes.
Daisy Dukes.
Cute dog.
Oh, thank you.
Daisy, you be good dog.
She's the best. I'm very lucky.
Of course, I do that to the deer in my yard as well. You be good, deer. Because I don't have dogs or cats. Okay, phone number to call in is 848-222-2480. That's 848-222-2480. Let's pick up 646 from dreary old Manhattan. What's happening out there, my man?
You guys talked about dicks more often in this episode than I've ever heard in my whole life.
Yeah, well, that's not my fault. That's TMZ's fault. TMZ was the one that wanted to talk about it.
Oh, so you're gonna shift the blame over to TMZ?
I am. TMZ is the bane. They give good people bad ideas. That's what TMZ does.
Yeah, I had a whole pole vault bit I was gonna do, but since DJ started talking about Flatober, I guess I'll do this tonight. So I was he said a lot of things that were like really awesome about not Flat Earth, but Flatoberfest in particular. The event is like some things that rang true with me. It's like if you have any doubt about going to something like this, you want to go. You want to go because like firstly you're going to run into, like, I've done this rant on your show before, but so many different walks of life, and a lot of people are super funny. A lot of people, you have the biblical crowd. You have like a lot of different crowds converging in this one little spot, and you have to like do a self check on like how am I gonna hang out with these people? I never would have thought I would hang out with any of these people, but then once you go in and you get in there, and you start talking, and you start having conversations, you don't sleep.
No.
Yeah. You don't. You could talk all night long.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I watched people close the bars on a regular basis. I remember watching at Dallas back in the day, like Rick Hummer and Owen Benjamin. I could see it as I'm crashing at like midnight. I'm going up in the glass elevator, and I can see the bar. It's full, absolutely jam-packed. No one's going anywhere. And it's like, man, I got to get up in the morning. I got to do stuff on stage, and these guys aren't sleeping. So it was awesome.
It was a party.
Yeah, and like, and you just like, I think this will be my 5th event, including Solar Return. I can't remember, but like I remember one of my favorite stories was when Crumb showed up to Solar Return. He literally got a 12-pack of beer at a gas station, rolled in, had his mandolin on his back, and sat at the wall and didn't talk to anybody for the first 12 hours. And I didn't really notice him, and then like once we got out to karaoke, they're going to do karaoke, and then they realized, oh, there's a bunch of musicians in here. Oh, there's a bunch of people in here that they might actually be cool. This isn't as freaky of an event as I thought I was arriving at. And Crumb said his first words to me after 12 hours, and now he's just completely like comfortable in his own skin about the whole thing. That's how it goes. And just like the meetups you guys were talking about, like the meetups where I saw people, even on my last New York meetup over here, and this was like a rock show I played just down the street. Yeah. I saw people come up, and I could tell they were looking at me, and Weiss was there. They were looking at Weiss, and they looked, and then they turned and walked away. so like, don't let that be a deterrent. You know, there's going to be other events, you know, after Flattober, and maybe Karen's going to quit Flattober. I won't believe Karen until next spring, whether it stops or not. But this, you know, come if you can. It's an outdoor event this time, and there you go. I did my thing.
And you know what? You made a good point there,
Anything
Alex.
else?
And no, you made up an original point, which I really hadn't touched on, which was, and I'm not trying to, granted, I am a natural born enabler and I lead people down horrible paths.
Right.
But in this case, it's like, you know what? Whatever gets you out of your shell, you know, they call it liquid courage for a reason. If you need a 12-pack of beer to get the courage to walk up to a strange group of 6 people and say, hey, so I'm new. What's going on with Flat Earth, right? Then whatever it takes to get you there within legal means, of course, or whatever you can get away with, basically. Then that's what you should do.
And you're also talking about. Go ahead.
Because I read,
Yeah,
I
and
saw.
what you're also talking about too is you're.
What? Then let me get this out. I saw a lot of wallflowers at different conferences. You know, like they'd be on the wall, literally on the wall, or sitting at a table by themselves, and you could tell they were in a mood. It's like they're regretting being there. It's like, man, I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can do it. I don't know if they mingled or not. But a lot of the people that came up to me for the first time didn't know me from Adam. Oh yeah, you know, you could tell a little twinkle in their eye. It's like, oh yeah, what have you been partying with tonight? So good for them.
Yeah, and it's all walks. You know, so like you're gonna run into all different like again. I come from the ex-space nerd crowd. You know, I didn't grow up with church or religion or dogma or anything like that. You know, my position has changed over the course of the last 10 years, but I don't necessarily go to a building to believe in, you know, something that's created this place. But like, really, it's a lot of Star Wars kids. It's a lot of musicians. It's a lot of artists. It's a lot of people coming from all different directions. And that makes it really weird. It's almost like high school again. And you have to reestablish like these little things in your head. You're like, oh shit, I have to learn about talking to somebody brand new again, as if I just got to grade school in a brand new situation. So that's a little bit freaky for some people, but by the time you get in for the first like 2-3 hours, once you're inside and you're hanging out and people start saying the shit that they want to say, and then it just gets out of control. And eventually you don't have enough time to even talk because there's so many people talking about the same shit that you generally agree. And there's a lot of, you know, there's some infighting, but for the most part, everybody there is on the same plane. So there's me being, you know, responsible tonight and not cussing my face off.
Oh, thank you, Alex.
I hope you guys are good.
Yeah, I love that. That was great. The music is fabulous. You guys did an awesome job.
Hi, Nicole.
Yeah.
I can hear her in the
I'm not hung
background.
up yet. Nicole,
Thank you for coming on Tinfoil.
Nicole, do you want to say something?
Just thank you for coming on Tinfoil.
Oh yeah, thanks for coming on Tinfoil. DJ, you're gonna come on next time too.
Hi, Nicole.
Or whenever we can get you on.
Very, very welcome, Nicole. Happy to be there. And,
anyway.
and yes, that was a fun thing to do with you guys. You guys were a very lively group.
Yes, Tinfoil Sombrero every Sunday at 7. Love you guys. Get off. Take another caller.
All
Cheers.
right. See you, man.
Bye.
I will pick you up next, I swear, Jerome. 518. Let's go to Jerome. Hey, Jerome, what's happening?
Hey, good evening, people. How y'all doing tonight?
Good.
What's up, Jerome?
What's up, D? Yeah.
What
You was talking about this Starliner thing, right?
Yeah, the Starliner thing, the mission that never ends, the mission that keeps on giving. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, you started mentioning about all the resources that they had on it. I mean, you didn't mention air or water.
Right. It's unlimited.
And the waste product.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Shouldn't the physics?
So
you're
where
right.
all the waste gonna go?
Right. Shouldn't the physics of that craft change with every person, with everything that's loaded and unloaded? Shouldn't they know the exact weight because the weight would determine momentum and velocity? Yes. Like DJ's glasses are wondering the same thing. Absolutely true. And they never talk about it. It is,
I love the glasses, dude.
It reminds me of the Apollo missions. And again, they get away with it because the average person knows nothing about science or physics or economics or all sorts of other fun stuff, which is the Apollo astronauts never talked about how much air they had, ever. It apparently was never a factor. In 1969, There was never a factor. They had unlimited oxygen and nitrogen mixture, and they could just go out as long as they want. Oh, take the car. Just go off-roading. Take the off-road vehicle. Just go off. Doesn't matter if it breaks down. If that thing breaks,
we're going to play golf today.
If that thing broke down 4 miles from the craft and they had to hoof it back, they're screwed. Not even an issue. Let's not even talk about it. Yeah, that is. By the way, that is Hollywood plot writing right there. That is how you write through a story.
Yes, it is.
It's like all we have to do is distract them. 10 minutes from now, they'll never come back to it, and it worked. Good for them.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. I wanted to mention some things like you don't hear the commercials in the conference center like you used to.
No, sorry, we don't feed them through the conference center anymore. Did you? What? You mean the call board?
Why not?
Dude,
I am
okay.
The commercials through the conference.
I am streaming from here. The fact that we're even getting a coherent podcast is pretty impressive by my standards. So, and you're complaining because you can't hear the commercials through the phone lines. That's your biggest concern. Come on.
Well, nah.
Oh, good. Because I'm about to say you don't have anything to complain about.
This is low budget, everybody.
Yeah. This is not. Yeah. When I'm yelling at my sound guy, I'm hitting myself in the head. That's what I'm doing.
I've decided to come out with the most low budget show possible, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But here I am, guys, and it's this community, and we're gonna work from the ground up. Okay, so.
And besides, I mean, if it's people
should have been grounded by now. But anyway, I ain't gonna get into that. Yeah, I just wanted to talk to you guys, and
hey, Jerome,
I know you got other callers, so I'm gonna give my shout out because I couldn't do it last week.
Okay.
Shout out to.
Go ahead.
You guys, you know what I'm saying? DJ, thanks for stepping in. Shout out to Karen B, Patricia Steer, Jan, of course. That vagabond shoe guy, I got to shout him out. Rick Hummer. Who else? I got two more. I got David Weiss and Austin Whitsick. Keep rocking, people. Keep rocking and keep it flat.
Right
Peace.
on. Right on.
Bye, Rome. Have a good one.
And thank you, man. As I was, by the way, all I did was look at another chat thing, and as soon as I do that, your video goes to.
Help me!
I know.
I mean,
that's all right.
Again,
I'll get you back.
We're gonna get a budget.
Good Lord. All right.
Hey, people want more. It'll happen.
All right. There we go. What do you mean leave it? Oh, because it's going to blow back up again? It might. Let's see if it does. If it does, that's right. I'll probably be on a call anyway. We'll leave him off center for the moment.
Oh, I can sit in the middle. Here we go.
Oh, good Lord. All right. Who else are we going to grab? Let's see. Let's grab. I don't recognize this one. It's from 508 out in
my life already, Mark.
Possibly Massachusetts. What's happening out there in Mass?
Hey, Mark. My name's Barbara.
Hi, Barbara.
Phone's from Mass. I'm in Delaware now.
Oh, cool.
Thanks for taking my call.
Is this the first time you called in?
Yes.
Huh?
Yep. I'm kind of new to the channel.
Oh, cool.
Oops. Sorry. Yeah. So my husband watches you all the time. He's been watching you for quite a few years now. And I listened to you on Crow one time, and so I just started kind of watching a little bit with him. So I do have a question for you on Flat Earth, so.
Just go ahead, please.
So I am
do.
kind of new to the flat, round debate, the whole thing. Why can't NASA just film the launch with, I don't know, a GoPro, something simple? Just film the launch from start, ground going up until you start to see the curve, like a live shot, and prove it. Either way.
It's Barbara, right? Barbara?
Yes. Yeah.
Barbara, you are near and dear to my heart as we speak. You are probably my favorite new caller of the year. You know why? That is one of my top two proofs. When people interview me, they ask, is there anything they could do to get you to leave Flat Earth forever? And I said, yeah, Yeah, there's one simple one that you could do in 2 seconds. It's never happened in the history of space travel. Take a camera, put it on the side of the rocket, like what you were saying, point it down at the ground, let the rocket leave orbit, and the Earth should turn into a wonderful globe. And it's never, ever happened. Never, ever happened. And statistically speaking, it should have happened. Since 1960s, this one little act has never happened. And you're right, NASA should be able to do that, and they won't. They won't do it. My favorite recent one, which blew me, well, by the way, other than Artemis, which happened fairly recently, but my favorite one was, because I have to pick on him, was the Tesla Roadster in space, which was the Tesla Roadster, 3 high-def cameras pointing at that car, Earth in the background, spinning. And it's like, oh, we're going to head it off towards Mars now. It's like, oh, great, here's your chance, right? Just let that thing go and point back towards the Earth. And it's like, oh, no, we're going to turn the camera off. It's like, why? It's like, oh, we're just going to cut transmission, low battery power. It's like, what are you talking about, low battery power? It's absolutely perfect.
Of course.
So, yeah, It is one of the cruxes which no one will talk about. So thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you taking my call.
Anything else I can do for you?
Nope, I think I'm good. Thank you again for taking my call.
All right.
Shout out to my husband, Brian, Karen B., and you. We love you guys.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Well, it's
All
funny.
right.
Last night,
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
watching, I was Googling and YouTubing actual footage from space, and I was showing a friend of mine, and it was pretty peculiar that there's still not any good footage of what you just said. Rockets pointing down, just satellites, other pictures of satellites, all these things are still just CGI and don't exist.
Yeah. And, one that I, give credit to one of the older YouTubers, Max Malone, from back in the day, as I put it in my first clue, which was, he goes, sometimes it's not for the stuff that you see, it's for the stuff you don't see. The stuff that they leave out, which should be there, which again is straight out of Writing 101, which is, if you don't talk about it, people, they won't think about it. Out of sight, out of mind. And one of the easiest things was the 360 in space, which is, no astronaut has gotten out of anything and just spun around, most notably on the moon, which was, why wouldn't you do a 360 on the moon with your camera running? That'd be like one of the first things you would do. And they never did it. Of course, I could spend a whole day on the moon. Little things like the fact that they all talked like airline pilots when they were there, like nothing was a big deal. Come on, for a lot of, I don't care how much you psychologically screen these guys, first thing you would do, it would be like, holy crap. It's, and all you would think about, by the way, is not dying, not running out of air or water. You wouldn't risk anything. It's like, yeah, we got to get home, right? That's the whole goal here, is to get home.
Absolutely.
So
true. Yeah, the moon landing, that was the peculiar one that led me closer to flat Earth. So looking into it, and how could they, there was a great video called American Moon where it talks about how they debunked it, and it's like 3 hours worth of, very compelling evidence. So it's just another thing to keep an eye out for. But,
let me tie this back into Joe Rogan for a second, which was, I was so glad, again, at the 8-minute mark of that show. And if you haven't watched it, watch Joe Rogan Burn the Boats. By the way, a clever title. If you guys don't know what it is, that means you're staying wherever you're going, right? You land, no one's abandoning this. Burn the boats. We're here, right? Actually, a really original title. I don't know who came up with it, but when he said, remember, he was the guy, and I gave him crap for years about this, which was, he was one of the guys back in the day, he was one of the original conspiracy guys that would go up against NASA people and say, there's a wonderful soundbite of him saying, we absolutely, there's no way we went to the moon. No way. Right. And then he disappears for like a year. Right. And then when he comes back, the Sci-Fi Channel gave him a brand new series called Joe Rogan Questions Everything for 1 year, one season. And the very first episode, he apologized for NASA for everything he ever said. It's like, nothing fishy there. That doesn't seem suspicious at all. Right. And then, so now to have him come back a decade later on stage and just throw that line out there. It's like, oh yeah, I don't believe we went to the moon. Good for you, man. At least you're playing to the audience, because that audience.
Yeah, that's the thing. His journey is unraveling as we speak, and he just had Bart Sorrell on this year to talk about it.
Right.
A whole funny thing happened on the way to the moon, and how it would, he's the guy that interviews the astronauts. asked them to donate $5,000 by swearing on the Bible that they went. So, you know, it's some people have a really hard time with his approach, which I get it. It's completely invasive, but you know, that guy has a lot of gusto to go and do that, and it is very telling either way, regardless if you don't like his approach or not. It's just interesting. It's another piece of the puzzle. It's the adds to the mystery.
Right. And Bart Sabrell, by the way, a lot of people don't know, he does not like us. He has not liked us since the beginning, because we steal a lot of his thunder. I mean, up until we came along, a funny thing happened on the way to the moon. Great video. Actually, it was like, you know, really compelling until you get into Flat Earth. It's like, well, now we've got some other avenues we can go down. And we were taken away from him because he thought, you know, it's like, oh, no, I am the pinnacle of conspiracies. And I get it, you know, but he said publicly numerous times, it's like, oh yeah, Flat Earth is just a freaking bane. Flat Earth is dumb, it's silly, it's the bane of my existence, that whole thing.
Well, I think he's also coming around because he was interviewed by George Hobbs on the Flat Earth Files. So
I did not know this.
Yes.
How did it go?
Check out that episode. It's very interesting. I actually emailed George and was like, because he doesn't quite talk about Flat Earth very much, if at all, if I recall. So that's the part that I thought was interesting, where it's in line with what you just said. Yeah. But the fact that he's affiliating himself with that was pretty interesting.
I'm sure we wore him down over the years. Because like anyone, I mean, there's so many people, you know, I'm sure his regulars, hey, did you think about Flat Earth? Hey, did you think about Flat Earth? Kind of like Eddie Bravo badgering Joe Rogan, or all the people that badgered David Weiss. You know, he was like banning them on a regular basis. Like, no, get away. Until finally he had like one of his good friends hit him with it. And he's like, all right, fine, I'll listen.
Look, it's not, people are so resistant to it, and it's fine. You got to kind of meet them where they're at, because nobody can really unplug you if that's how it feels. Like you're unplugging the Matrix. It just feels like, hey, I no longer am going to accept what I've been told. I'm going to look at things through this new lens of this is a created realm. It's special. God might be right above, and it opens up a whole other lens of life that's really beautiful. Yeah. But people aren't ready to be, you know, yanked out of the Matrix, and you kind of can plant the seed, and it will grow over time. It took me, after, like you asked me at the beginning, first time was when my Navy SEAL friend told me about it, and then it took me 7 years to go back and actually try to look into it further. I was so disgusted with it.
Sure. Hey, we're winding down, so we gotta grab at least this call. You ready? Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it with DJ Curious.
With DJ Curious, New York. Oh, with my vagabond shoes. That was for Jerome. Well, and Peanut. How you guys doing tonight?
Good. How are you, man?
I'm having fun. I'm enjoying tonight. I just want to say, Mark, you broke my gaydar the first night we met. Just saying.
Thanks, man.
I've been waiting all fucking night to say that.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you don't know. Yeah.
It's not commonly known that we slept together the first night we met.
Oh boy. Yeah, that is true. You crashed in you crashed in my hotel room. I remember that. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes. It's fucking, and like you said, DJ, I don't know, man. Maybe not everyone gets that vibe or that specialness from Mark, but like as soon as we met, it was like, are you my brother? Like, where have you been? What's going on here? How come I haven't known you all my fucking life?
I know. Mark's
just good like that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, I wanted to say, this wasn't just the girls' Olympics, right? Like, I mean, not that I watched and looked for the Olympics, but I saw zero competition other than this evening with the penis pics. But I saw no,
there were some
fucking Olympics. They didn't. It's like they didn't push any of that.
You know, I still didn't ever watch what happened to like the men's basketball team. You know, the second Dream Team or whatever it was. I didn't watch.
So none of it.
Yeah. I mean, I knew that our gymnastics did really well. I'm sure our basketball team did well, but it was on the Peacock network. It was, on top of it, it wasn't like the old days where it was on like one of the major labels. Everything's so specified.
Right,
It's like
right.
okay, unless you have Peacock, you're not watching it. So.
Right. They screw themselves out of that with that kind of stuff. Or
Yeah.
they screw out the viewers who actually want to see it.
Yeah, it's just not the same. It's not the old days.
No.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
No.
And what's up with the elevating or the escalating of the discussion of nuclear war from Russia? They're invading. They're crossing the border. There could be nuclear war. It's like, are you fucking kidding me?
I've heard it.
Sick of the.
And even though I'm going to do a Joe Rogan tie-in, even though he said World War III during his stand-up routine, it's like Peanut and I have been watching these headlines for years, and and on multiple fronts. And I have talked about it's like Taiwan can't make it happen, Ukraine can't make it happen, Korea, good luck. I mean, nothing. It's all hype at this point. So you'll know. Again, I've let people. You'll know because the narrative will be simple. It'll be super easy to follow for the knuckle draggers and the mouth breathers, and I haven't seen it.
Troglodytes? Is that the right word?
Yes, the mouth breathing troglodytes. Absolutely, yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
I believe that is the first time I've ever used that word.
Mouth breathing troglodytes. Yeah.
Funny. Yeah. Too stupid. It's all just ridiculous. The stories they're ramping up the stories and they're getting more, I don't know, flimsy, see-through.
Oh, it's lazy writing.
Like,
that's all it is.
Just ridiculous.
As a writer, it's offensive.
Yeah, for sure.
I watch it and it's like, oh, come on. At least
it's offensive. I take that as an insult.
Sorry, go ahead, DJ.
Even people who aren't ready to even look into flat Earth or accept it, but they are saying in my circles, all bets are off, anything's possible, and they're like, I don't even need to look into flat Earth. I don't care if I had to let go of space. Fine, I don't care about space anyway. It's only another stressful thing that I have to think about.
Yeah,
it's so interesting.
Right.
Yeah,
that's funny.
So this is either the best coping mechanism. I've been held hostage, and I'm just so dumb that I don't know what I'm doing with my life and my words anymore, so help me. Or there's something going on here, guys, and we need more eyes and ears to pay attention to kind of unravel this kind of mystery.
Yep. One of the most offensive. I know we got to wrap this up here pretty soon, but one of the most offensive things I've heard over the last few years is the Dunning-Kruger effect, which, as you guys know, is a childhood insult which has been stretched to the point of a PhD. Meaning, you've heard the thing. It's like when we're growing up, it's like you're too stupid to know how stupid you are, right? We've all heard this as kids, right? Someone said this in the playground. At some point, somebody took that and said, "Oh, you know what? I'm going to turn that into my dissertation." And they expanded it from a psychological standpoint. Literally, that's all it is. The Dunning-Kruger effect. It's like this person is obviously too stupid to know how stupid he is. Just because you say it with like a British accent or something doesn't mean it's more legit. It's
you cocky British motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
stupid, and we've lost our minds.
No, you're absolutely right. They throw that voice.
Sorry, go ahead, DJ. Oh yeah, Peanut says we got to wrap this thing up. What do you got? Quote? What do you got, Zulu?
Yeah, I got a quote.
Look, just you can get around to it.
The wrong thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, also, I just wanted to say real quick, they just found water on Mars again, for the first time again, and the first 360 I saw in space was in the movie Gravity.
There you go.
And isn't that interesting? Like, wow.
Oh.
All right. Here's my quote. A lie told often enough becomes the truth. A lie told often enough becomes the truth. And it's like that's exactly what they do to us.
Who said
all day long. The media spreads one lie. No, it's blue. It's blue. Oh, of course it was a Nazi, Joseph Goebbels.
Oh, okay. Goebbels. Yeah.
Goebbels.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
cool.
Ridiculous. Just ridiculous how it works.
Yeah.
And it's literally brilliant. I get it. They take advantage of us. We're part of that equation. Yeah. If we weren't who we were or are, all that programming shit wouldn't work.
Yeah. Zulu, give me shout outs.
Shout out. Yep. Shout out to Ice Queen, Mark Sargent DJ, Patricia Steer, Karen B, NDB, Captain Nathan, New Mexico, Jerome, DITRH, and tomorrow please join us for BST at 4:20, NDB and myself.
All right.
Love you guys.
With that, we're going to...
Thank you always, Mark.
We'll be back
Love you
next
the best.
week. Same flat time, same flat channel. Say goodnight, DJ.
Good night. Adieu. Auf Wiedersehen. So long farewell. Love y'all. Bye.
Say goodnight, Zulu.
Good night, Zulu.
There you go. And Peanut, Peanut can smoke all day long. I've never seen him cough. Do you even have lungs
No.
at this point? All right, that's
No,
it.
He lived in a tank. Nothing can make him cough.
That's true. Good point. All right, so roll
Yeah.
credits, hot sex. Good night, everybody.
Hot sex.
So we say we know what we thought we knew. All I thought we threw away was everything. 40 many wars dance our lives away. How well we loved is how long our lovers stay. They say that Mars is close as it's ever been, and I'm so tired of being on the ropes again. That's the lovely girl standing on the moon, wishing she had a breath of air. That's the lonely boy standing in the room, a solo game musical chair. I'll need They say that Mars is close as it's ever been. Wound up chasing stars all over again. There's words for what you got, what you have, and what you'll ever need. There's love so many nights, so many nights, so many ways to believe.
Paige needs to get into her PJs with her cup of cocoa and her 6 marshmallows. Night, Mark.
Hey, look, it's Karen. DJ, if you talk, will we hear you? I think we will, won't we? Yeah, but they can't see that. Only I can see that. Jack.
You realize it's the same link every week. It never changes.
Yeah, I know. I should paste it somewhere, I think. One day when I'm long gone, this flag will still be around somewhere. And they'll say, wonder who it's modeled after. Ah, just some idiot. Thank you. Yes, 40 pounds heavier, absolutely. Joe Rogan, if you invite me, I'll bring you a flag. Come on, Joe. Seriously, I think it'd be a fun interview. I was intimidated by him at one point. He was one of the few people I did not want to do because it's like, oh, crap. He's just going to throw me curveballs the entire time. He'll probably want me to smoke dope. Hello, it's the dog.
Hello,
All right, that's it. See you guys in a bit. Well, I don't know if I'll see